been named head coach at ETSU for the women's basketball team in 2013. She's quickly brought the program to prominence in Southern Conference after playing basketball. You played softball?
I did.
At Alabama?
I did.
Really? From 94 to 98, she began a coaching career that will ultimately lead to 10 years at Okaloosa Walton Junior College. Okaloosa Walton.
Close, Okaloosa Walton. The locals just call it O-Dub, so let's go with that.
O-Dub. And the University of London Foul.
I'm killing you, aren't
You
I?
are
Yeah.
the English language is killing.
So sorry.
Before being hired at Belmont in 2010, last season, 2010, great year for you all. Welcome to Brittney Ezell. My grandmother had a crush on you. It was a little bit inappropriate feeling for me, but she just thought you were great.
Because your grandmother, I must have been a little boy too.
So it's
Thought you were the thought you were the finest. And it's an honor to be here on the stage with Fulmer, College Football Hall of Fame inductee in 2012, 152 record on head coach of the Halls from 92 to 2008. I was up in the stands in the student section while you were there, and it's great to be here with you. Led the Vols to a national championship in 1998, and I think it's just such a joy for the ETSU community to have you doing what you were doing here and now. So welcome everybody. Thank you. In case the others didn't admit it, they had prepared questions in the earlier sessions, and I have no prepared questions. And Coach Fulmer told me neither did he last night. So we'll just see where this goes and where the road may take us. And I'll try my best to talk as little as possible, and you share with them. Our theme for this final section is leadership and coaching. And so what I would like to do is ask the three of you, and if this is a question you've already been asked or answered publicly, I deeply apologize, I haven't heard it. Do you have a hero, someone that you is the dream of what it means to be a coach and a leader? Who is that person and why?
You know what, I've had so many influences and people that I grew up admiring. The state of Texas, General Walvius, the head coach. He was a hero to me as a youngster. I later got to know him personally, and I really respected him. He was a guy that accomplished so much in coaching. And he had that humility about him that always impressed me. He was down to earth, caring, respectful guy throughout his life, but he did not all he could do in coaching. So he was my childhood heroes, which is illogical for me. I coached in the A&M Texas game more than anyone in history. I coached 30 times in that game, and for my Longhorn friends, so I can tell them 16 of those 30 times I walked off the west side. But as a child, Darryl Roll was certainly one of my heroes.
And when you met him, do you remember being surprised that it was what you hoped he would be, or was there a moment where you thought, wow?
No, I'd seen him enough, and I was probably embarrassed myself. I met him, I was a young assistant at A&M. Emory Millard, the coach that I worked for, was flying into Dallas for a meeting. And I was in Dallas recruiting, so I went to pick him up, and Coach Roll was with him. And he had just started my first year with him. And so Coach Roll comes out. I mean, I'm driving my boss, Emory, and I got Coach Roll there. And so, but over the years, we developed a great friendship, a great respect. And he was, but I admired that quality. He was a tough, hard, very successful coach, but he treated people with respect. And he had a humility about him throughout the whole thing. He never had fear with it there.
Brittney Ezell, you're leader in coaching, prime example that you want to live up to and be like.
You're going to laugh, and it's going to sound so cheesy, but my mom was my first ever coach, and it's kind of an interesting story. We lived in a small town in Alabama at the time, and I was 6. My mom took me to sign up for basketball, and they told her they didn't have basketball for girls. And my mom said, well, I'll tell you what, I'll coach a boys team. we didn't lose a game for 4 years.
Is she a player?
My mother played in high school. She did. She played back when they played old 6-on-6. And to be quite honest, I didn't beat my mother playing one-on-one until I was 16. I'm not proud of that. My mother was a defensive specialist, played on the defensive side of the ball. And if it tells you anything about my mother, she took a charge off of me on pea gravel asphalt. So I'm in the house crying when I was outside jumping around and she took a charge. She was probably my first introduction into coaching and into fighting battles that are good to be fought. But it's really kind of funny that I'm sitting here with 2 Hall of Fame football coaches because the majority of my coaching heroes have been football coaches. I love football. I think it is one of the ultimate examples of team and of sacrifice. I went to the University of Alabama. Sorry, Coach Fulmer, I'm so sorry.
I have to tell you this every time. I'm 11-5 against
I know, I was there. When you attend the University of Alabama, you're overlooking an opportunity to learn about Bear Bryant, about Gene Stallings, and the guys that are in my office, and Mark Whit and Tom Izzo, and even I have an autograph with Nick Saban. But I just like learning from football coaches. When I found out I was going to be on the panel with these 2 guys, they were inducted in 2012. I went in 2012 and saw their pictures, so I was pretty excited about being on a panel with Hall of Fame coaches. So I'm really stepping out of my genre. Aside from my mom, guys like this, these are my heroes. These are all I like.
Coach Fulmer, I'm curious for you. Who is the model?
Yeah, there was, like RC, there were so many people that influenced me. One, just to be a good player in high school and have a chance to go on and play collegiately. My high school coach was an incredible person. Kind of quiet, not really socially active necessarily, but with us, he was incredible. We had a very bad team my freshman year, and changed coaches, and he came in, and he actually at that particular time dismissed every senior on the team. So he started with us as sophomores and all the way through, and at the end of the whole thing, there was 9 of us that played in the Southeastern Conference, and 27 kids total, and one of them played college football. And so he changed our lives and the culture of the school. To get a chance to go to Tennessee and play for Doug Dickey, was a huge plus and a real influence in my life. And then fast forward all those years later, he's there to give me a chance to be a head coach later as our athletic director. As a young coach, I was at a coaching convention, my first coaching convention in Chicago. We had borrowed a coach's car to get there and had scraped up enough money and gas to get there, share a room. We flipped, and I got the box springs on the floor, and he got the mattress, in this fabulous hotel in Chicago. And I wasn't sure yet what I was going to coach him on. And Bo Schimbeck was on the podium speaking to a convention of coaches. There's 2,000, 3,000 coaches in the audience. And I'm a graduate assistant at Tennessee. And he's supposed to talk about the old 50 slant angle defense. And I love defensive football. It's really why I went to Tennessee, even though I didn't get to play it. But if I was going to coach, I was going to coach it. But he talked about 10 minutes about actually fundamentals of the defense, but he got his energetic and excited about talking about what the coach's responsibility to the players are, and how that's such an influential age of 18 to 22, and we have a chance to change their lives, and all of a sudden I'm on the edge of my seat, feeling good about the profession, and that kind of directed me to go into coaching. And I'll be brief with the rest of it, but I went to Wichita State. Lincoln, Nebraska wasn't very far. I'm a young head coach, and I get a chance to meet Tom Osborne. And Tom's one of those guys in our profession, like a few of us that did it the right way, and had great success doing it that way. And he took a liking to me, and invited me back, and I kind of became a fly on the wall in Nebraska, in and out with meetings and practices and stuff, and we became he was a mentor, certainly. Now that kind of changed when I went to Tennessee and started recruiting against him a little bit. And as a head coach, I recruited against him a lot. It changed, but he was always special. And to get a chance to play against him in the Orange Bowl, was huge for us, and they beat us. Peyton was injured, and they beat us and won half of the national championship that year. But one of my prized possessions, he wrote a hand note back to me and afterwards, and proud of your career, and what a great game it was, and talking about our fan base. And at the very bottom, and this is 1997, he said, at the very bottom, he said, we will enjoy this national championship, but it won't be long before you win yours. And we won in '98, so that was a real thrill. And then you can throw out there was Coach Bowden, who did it right, and Coach Paterno, even though they didn't quite finish up. I think people are recognizing now that he wasn't that responsible for all that happened there. But those guys, from our era, were the guys that we look up to, along with Darrell Royal and Frank Royals and those kind of guys.
How fascinating it would be to hear three people at different points in their career and similar themes of strong leadership, mixed with kindness, humility, respect for everybody, no matter who they are. I want to flip the coin, if we could go, something that is unfortunately negative, and maybe won't allow you to name some names, but I think this group might enjoy hearing and grow from hearing. Is there, or have you noticed a trait or a trapping that someone who is almost golden falls into in your role? When they are that leadership role, that coaching role, but they stump their toe. For a room of people who don't want to stump their toe, what's that stone that you see a lot of people put in your field that messes them up, messes their program up? Is there something you could identify? Maybe there is. If you want to name names, it's fine.
You can tell we got a TV guy.
I want to talk about that. Go ahead.
I won't name any names, but I think you can just watch people, how they work, and hear interviews, and if you go visit them, you can tell why people coach. And I think that's the key. And I can't speak for Brittney, from store to another, I probably can, but I know Phillip and guys in my era, money was not even considered before I coached for one reason. I was asked this many times. My coaches played such a role in my life. I was in a poor family, uneducated, and coaches took an interest in me. They were demanding, but I never had a coach that I didn't think really cared about me. And they worked me, and they polished me, and they did things. Finally got to the point where I got a chance to go to college on scholarship. They pushed my family to go to college. And so when it came time to pick a profession, I thought, what an awesome deal it would be, but if I could somehow play that role in another young man's life. And that's why I coach. And I get concerned now that with the way contracts are written and the size of contracts, that you're going to have young guys saying, no, I won't be a coach so I can make a lot of money. And that may be bad motivation, because to me, and I know Phillip would say this, the most rewarding thing for me at this point in my life is not the numbers and the wins or this or that, the bowl games, all that, but the relationship that I have with those young men, with the coaches I work with. But with the young men, there's seldom a day, like Father's Day is always so much fun, because I get all these calls and texts and kids who give you credit for playing a role in their life and their development. And to me, that's a real reward. Anybody in coaching, and I think it's that way in business. I had coaches go on, quite a number of my coaches. I was talking to Peyton this weekend with Gary Kubiak at Denver, played for us. They had him, I gave his first coaching job. And I had a number of guys go on and success. And I think part of the deal, I had quite a number of coaches come through, but I could hire more good coaches because the ones that were there, I said, if you work hard and do a good job for me and Ray and them, if something comes along that's attractive to you, I'll help you get it. And so I was doing for them what I was trying to do with my players. Saying, I'll do everything I can to help. I want to know what your goals are. If you want to be a head coach, then I'll help you along the way. I'll polish on you and help direct you into situations and give you opportunities to develop. I'll try to help you. But I think the real rewards in leadership is seeing those people that you're leading, whatever it is that you're trying to do, see them successful, see the team successful. We often talk about the word team. It's really an acronym for together, each achieves more. And whether you're in football or whatever industry you're in, if you can convince your people, your team, that we're all willing to take what we have and throw it in the pile and say, what can I do? Let's think in terms of we, us, our, and not I, me, mine. If we can get that done, then you'll have a lot of rewards just from seeing it happen. But it'll be good for everybody.
So you're concerned that the contract, the high dollar contract world we live in for coaches could do a counter to that?
Well, yeah, you got a running back there that, and I think, there's something about this one. You got someone that has to be boundaries of behavior. So, if you step out of line, you won't play this game. And so all of a sudden you have a coach that has a contract said if you win this next game, you get $250,000. If you win a junior contract, you win the SEC East or whatever. So the coach is sitting there, and that week, that player does something that really should take him off the field. But you said as a coach, okay, I got one hand here to send a lesson to this young man and to the team that will be good for all of them. I'm torn between that, and it's gonna cost me $250,000 for this lesson, or $500,000. So you put the coach in a very difficult position, and some coaches, I know which way they're gonna go. I've seen them go that way. They'll say, man, just play the sucker, let him score, or whatever, I'll take the money, and you see it recruiting. I'd go out and see guys that, that were recruited that didn't deserve or shouldn't have been recruited. We see occasionally NFL teams pick guys. He said, man, why would you bring that guy into my community and give all that? But there's a reason. They don't have the right values. They're not geared in the right direction in terms of their leadership. They don't have a core set of values that say, you know what? This organization, this team is more important than any one individual. And my integrity, what I am as a man, is more important to me than a football game. And winning the game or whatever, I won't sacrifice that for any goal. And you have the same thing in business. Now you're sitting there and there's the right ways and wrong ways, there are rules that you have to go by. And man, if I do this, I might get this sale. So you know what, that sale's not worth my integrity. What I am, well, who I am as a person, and what people see in me, that's not worth that.
If we could, go to you, Coach. Reactions, your thoughts, and a discussion.
No, I think RC's exactly on. I mean, that's why we got into coaching. The money wasn't there. My first job, I made $6,000 a year. Was glad to get it, and you move up and change from there. But I also think, to add to what he's saying, that one of the detriments of the profession now is that people forget how they got there. All of a sudden, the media and the fans and everything, you have some success, and they paint you as something that you're really not or never intended to be, But you get bigger than life almost, and you got to be really careful of that over a period of time, and you start jumping from job to job, and next thing you disappear because you probably got there because you outworked people and you made the right decisions along the way that kept you in the profession and allowed the next athletic director to hire you, and you did the work on a daily basis. I think that's one of the tough things right now, particularly with all the social media, the games the coaches have to play in recruiting now. I don't mean cheating games, but I mean you're almost sacrificing your integrity. I'd like RC to even comment to this probably, but you're recruiting some kid that's 18 and somebody else is, recruiting, and all of a sudden he thinks he's God's gift to football, and he's not. He's got to come and earn his. He's probably going to be 13 when he gets there, at best. So it's interesting the dynamics that are out there right now in the coaching profession.
So, remembering who you are. Don't believe your own hype.
Right.
A fatal flaw. At this point, you're lucky here. Sit between these legends.
Sure.
That you're seeing. I mean, that in this room.
I think I'm a little different in that the money isn't there in my profession, but it's there for college football.
You're not okay with that, are you?
And I'm going to talk to Dr. Secretary. I think the big thing for ours, and it kind kind of brings together both of their schools of thought is a lot of people don't know their why. They don't know their why. Why are you doing what you're doing? What's your method behind your madness? And here's the truth that I found that works best for me. I do not know my coaching record. I do not. But that's not why I coach. I don't know how much money I make. I haven't even seen my new contract. I don't know how much Doc's going to pay me for the next 8 years. Isn't that what we agreed on? 8 years?
You heard it here
I think it was
first.
8.
I fire your agent.
But what I do know is my why is to be impactful in a way that goes beyond the game and beyond money, and so that when I stand in front of my Lord and Maker, He doesn't ask me what my one-loss record was. He asked me that I make the most of the gifts that He had given me during my time on this earth. That's my why. And that's what I think a lot of coaches lose sight of. Why are you doing what you're doing? Why do you want to be a CEO? Do you just want to do it to make money? Do you want to do it for the prestige like Coach was talking about? And I think sometimes coaches lose their sense of self in their title. And they think they're invincible and they don't have someone to answer to. Well, we all have people to answer to, whether you want to recognize it or not. Everybody has a boss. Both of mine are sitting in here, but I also answer to my family. I answer to my sense of integrity, and I'm going to answer to a higher calling eventually. And I think that's what trips up a lot of people. They're not grounded in their why, and I think that's important.
You're talking about culture in a lot of ways. And I know that's something that's been discussed throughout last night and today. But if you find yourself in a, and I'm curious, have you found yourself where you were a part of something, part of an organization, where this internal voice that you were talking about was keeping true to at all times, was counter to the culture that you were in? I have a feeling there are several people in this room, maybe you could say, I've been there, or I am there, where they just don't feel like the thing they're living to be true to is mirrored around. What do you do? Have you ever been there? What do you
Yeah, I
do?
don't think I've been there. I mean, I won't call names. I've been in situations where it wasn't true to who I was. I was in a position I was in charge of the culture. So what you do, I think, is in your own way, you have to say, can I be an influence in this situation I'm in? Can I help change it? Can I be a positive influence and help change the culture? I think if you're in a situation where you're being forced to do things that are contrary to your beliefs, then I think that's when you have to draw a line and figure out some way to get out and move to some other job, some other position. But I think you may find yourself in a situation where you say, I can't just walk in and quit my job today, but you can do whatever you can do to try to change that culture to make it better. And on top of that, I want to mention a book that some of you might be interested in. It kind of tags into what Brittney said. There's a writer, former NFL, college player, NFL player. We brought him in to speak last year to about 2 years ago, to our national coaches convention. His name is Joe Erdman, E-R-D-M-A-N. Has a book called Inside Out Coaching. And one of the things he said in the book, and I heard him say in person talk to him about it, and he said that every coach, and I've used it in some of my talks to business people, every leader should ask 3 questions. Number one, what Brittney just said, why am I doing this? Why am I coaching? Why am I leading this country? Number 2, how do I coach? What are the methods when I'm leading this organization, I'm coaching life? What are my methods, how to do that? And number 3, perhaps the most important question, what would it be like to be coached by me? If I were on the other side there, what would it be like to be coached by me? Or if I were working for this leader, what would it be like for me to work for him or her? And those are 3 great questions I think that all leaders should ask. What would it be like?
Coach Fulmer, have you ever been in a culture that didn't reflect you?
No, I haven't.
What do you do if you are?
Yeah, I think if you stay in the business industry long enough, you're going to have those things come up, whether it's at the top or whether it's somewhere within the units, different things. But as I think Mike Smith said this morning, you got to start with an attitude. You got to start with the right kind of attitude. And I think I'm basically a positive person, and I felt like in this situation I could change the culture, and at least on my side of the ball, enjoy coming to work every day. if I couldn't do that, then I'd make the decision that RC was saying to do something elsewhere. But I think as a person that's coming up through, and this happened to me, I learned from the natives sometimes. I'm not going to do this if I get my opportunity to lead. You know, again, I'm surrounded by a little cocoon over here, and we're doing our thing. But you learn from the negatives as well as you learn from the positive sometimes. I think that's important. Let me say something about RC. RC's one dear friend and somebody that I've admired in the profession a long time. But I was kind of at the crossroads as to whether I was going to coach again. And, you know, I come to the realization that wherever I went wasn't going to be as good as where I was, you know, because Tennessee was a very, very special place. This is right after UT. I'm at the convention and actually looking at, you know, talking to staff members and looking at jobs and trying to figure out what for football, some things like that. RC takes me into a room and he gets $1 worth of pennies and puts them on the table. And he says, "How old are you?" And I said, "Well, I'm 58. He takes 58 pennies off the table. He says, "Well, let's say you live to you're 85, you know," so he takes 15 more pennies off the table on the other end. He says, "Those last 5 years aren't going to be great anyway," so he takes those 5 pennies off. He said, "That's what you got left," you know, and then you got to make a decision, you know, of what you want to do for the rest of your life.
How you gonna spend it?
I mean, that's what I'd ask you, because it's a great lesson. I've told the story over and over at different times, is how are you going to spend your pennies each day? Is it something that's special to you, or special to your family? You know, you're going to be able to change lives, or, you know, just how is it? So I mean, that's what a dear friend does for another friend. That moment, I'd say, you know what, I've got 4 beautiful children and 6 beautiful grandchildren, and I'm going to enjoy them.
I just have to say, it's really kind of surreal to hear you all talking about this stable, peace-centered commitment to what matters forever. And then to know the world that you have moved in, which is grown adults are losing their ever-living mind over the actions of an 18-year-old on a Saturday afternoon. Spending immense amounts of their personal money to just go and see a game. And it's all over television, and like you mentioned, social media, and it is a culture, especially in this part of the world. So it's kind of strange to see this, for me to see this calm.
Yeah, but you know, when you look at it from the fan standpoint, that's one way. But you also look at, and there's a General Harrell, Admiral, whatever, you know, he's a really special guy, obviously. You know, people aren't dying in our profession, but you're darn sure, you know, in the trenches together badly. You know, and it's the closest thing to battle that they'll ever face, and it's life lessons every day. And you have a chance, you know, and we all do. We all have a chance to influence people in a positive direction, you know, every day. And we did, and she does a lot, you know, with young people. Sometimes we were successful or unsuccessful, but most of the time we were successful together. You might not know their names. Probably a third-team linebacker that sends you the same text at Father's Day. Thank you for what you did for them, you know, because you take them from situations and give them a better lease on life, as a coach did for us.
Coach Ezell, I'd like to go in a direction and ask you to start us off on this, and that is becoming an agent of change. When you walk in the door into an opportunity, whatever that is, as these folks in this room will encounter, and you see the good and you see the bad. You've been successful in your time here of bringing change in culture and performance. I want to hear your thoughts on how you do that and what works and what maybe doesn't work.
Oh, goodness. I became a head coach at 28, and I've taken over, this is my 4th program to take over. Every program that I took over had a losing record prior to my arrival. That doesn't mean it was me. I was able to put together a really good staff who believed in what we were trying to do. And the first thing you had to do to be an agent of change is you had to do an autopsy without excuse. you had to go in and look at everything, because what was there is dead, and you've got to revive it, and you've got to bring it back to life and figure out what killed it, what caused the problem. Simple SWOT analysis. I was a business major. You've got to figure out all of these things, and then you have to get the right people on board. And in our business, I think Carl alluded to it in his speech. You've got to have, really good players to be a really good coach. Well, you can't, in my opinion, you can't just go out and recruit the best players in order to change a culture. You have to recruit high character people. You've got to recruit people with abilities that I find valuable, and you're going to kind of giggle when I say this. I'm not looking for fast or strong or tall. I'm looking for dependable, so dependability, accountability, responsibility. I can build with those things. And once we get those things as the foundation, then we can start looking at kids that we always called it, do they have the Holy Trinity? And this is kind of ridiculous, but kids have one of three issues. There's an athletic issue that we had to fix. There's an academic problem, or they had some kind of social problem. One, I can fix. Two, it depends on the situation. But if they had the Holy Trinity, you prayed for them and you moved on. That's how it went. But I think to be an agent of change, you have to wake up every day knowing that every action, every word out of your mouth, every encounter that you have is impactful. And I think the other big thing that has helped us be successful is to understand there are no unimportant people and there are no unimportant tasks. And I think listening to all the speakers here and listening to how they get everyone engaged in the entire department, from the person who cleans your locker room to who does your laundry to who drives the bus, everybody is part of your team. And these guys led much bigger organizations than I've ever led, but what we found that makes us the most successful is laying foundation with the right people on the bus, doing an autopsy without making an excuse for what went wrong, fixing it with the right kind of people, and then continuing to try to build on those with those core values of all those abilities that we want to have. So I think the last component of that change is working for people that believe in you. And that is the reason I came here, to work for Dr. DeSandra and to work for Dr. Brian Nolan. Their vision and their commitment to the student athlete and to my vision for women's basketball, they're the reason that I'm here, and they're the reason I hope to stay here. So that's very, very important when you're trying to be a catalyst for change. You've got to have the right people above you and the right people with you. I think that works best for me.
Wisdom beyond your years, I think you all are thinking.
Absolutely.
Would you add to the pile of ways that you have seen and have experienced successful change in a culture that needed it?
I can't say it better, she does.
I'm done. Can I go
Coach.
Well, I'm not going to attempt to do better than the topic of what that was, but I think the tough times that we have in our personal life, church, our spiritual life, certainly in business and certainly in coaching, are opportunities. You would think that and I've said this before in speeches, so if you've heard it, I apologize, but you would think the 98 National Championship would be my favorite team, and it is special, and I don't want to take anything away from it. Or you could say 95 or 97 when Peyton was there, or 01 when we were just a play away from going to play for the National Championship again. But my favorite team actually is my second year as the head football coach at Tennessee. We started 1-3, and we had Jerry Colbert was going to be our quarterback, and unfortunately he gets hurt. We are opening the college football season in the Rose Bowl. I'm a second-year head football coach, replacing the legend. I'm excited to be taking this team to California and playing UCLA to open the college football season. Jerry waited 5 years to be our quarterback. It was really close as to whether it was going to be him or Heath Shuler, who was here this morning. And Heath won the job. Jerry could have left, gone anywhere in the country to play, but he stayed because he loved Tennessee and loved us. He played 7 plays and tears his knee up in the opening ball game. It's one of the saddest things I've ever seen in football. We get to the sideline, Tom Helton goes in and does a really great job, brings us back, but we lose 26-24. We beat Georgia handily the next week, ran the ball 73 times. Threw 13 passes and actually completed a couple of them. Lose to Florida the next week, and we have 5 turnovers the next week against Mississippi State. So we're sitting at the beginning of the season 1-3. You can imagine in Knoxville, Tennessee, you know, the talk shows, the media, and, you know, the fans, just, it was incredible. But the first thing that we did as a staff is we looked at ourselves. What could we do better to help this football team? We spent Sunday afternoon evaluating ourselves, because it's really easy to start pointing fingers where we got all these injuries, because we have a lot of other injuries besides the quarterback. And when we talked to Coach Dickey about it, and I tell this as the coach, you know, we're 1-3, got all these injuries. I don't know if we can beat Washington State the next team we play. So, Coach, if we don't beat Washington State, you're still gonna love me. Now, this is my coach, my mentor, my coach in college. He said, Phillip, we're gonna love you, but we're sure gonna miss you. We sat down that night with that football team, and I asked him, I said, who are you going to listen to? We've evaluated ourselves as a staff. We think there's some things that we can change that are going to make us better, but what are you going to do to help us change? To get ourselves back on track. And I said, you're going to listen to the media who thinks we can't coach and you can't play, or your mom and dad or girlfriend who thinks it's everybody's fault but yours, you know, or are we going to come and we've got 8 games left, and how many of those can we win and will we win? It's up to us in this room, not anybody else, it's up to us in this room. That is my favorite football team, because we went on and won 7 the next day in the bowl game. And more important than anything else, out of that really hard time that we had as a staff and as a team, we laid the foundation for what turned out to be the best era in Tennessee modern football history. We were 45-5 in the next stretch in the Southeastern Conference. And so the tough times that you have are opportunities when they come along in anything, in any of our businesses.
You touched on this, and I think this crowd, if they're like me, would love to know a bit more insight into that moment of managing the pressure that comes being that leader coach that you are in, and then if you are in, win or walk.
Yeah.
And that's the reality for coaches in your business. It kind of, for some of us on the outside looking in, it sort of blows me away when you see it happen. It blew me away when it happened to you, and it blew it when win or walk. And for some of you, that's pressure that translates into different specifics, but I think it's kind of all there. Tips for this crowd and how to handle that incredible stress of perform, or we love you but we're going to miss you.
You know what, I and RC would agree with this, I think, most of you. As long as you're doing everything you can every day to the best of your abilities, you know, with confidence in an organization and your staff is all on the same page, and you know, you fix the divot. When you have problems, you got to fix it. It's like playing golf. You know, if you fix that little hole that you made, or a little divot in the green, Mother Nature's going to take care of it today, so it's gone. But if you don't fix the divot, it'll be a scar for a long, long time to come. And you've done all of that you can, and you can't. The noise can't bother you. I mean, there's pressure. There's things coming at you from all different directions all the time. And somebody bet $10 on the game, he says on a talk show, that he doesn't even have to identify himself on, or on a computer. It didn't bother me. Where it did bother me was your family, because I can go to a meeting room and watch film until I wanted to not watch it anymore, and return the calls I wanted to return and see who I wanted to. But your family has to go to the store, the school, and live a life. That bothered me some. One of the best things that we did, I don't mean to dominate the time here, but one of the best things that we ever did, and I wish I could say it was my idea, but Vicki says, Courtney was getting, I have a son who was already older and was a ball boy. Courtney was about to turn 12, and she said, Courtney's going to be a ball girl. I hope you know that. I didn't ask. She told me that she was gonna go, you know, the girls have never been on the sidelines, you know, and they're, you know, those big guys fly off the field, and they're going to get hurt, you know, they gotta get the ball real clean, and really the whole time I was thinking, God, what am I daughter's gonna hear me say down there, you know? But it was totally the best thing that we ever did as a family, because now they knew, they felt the love, they felt the passion, they were involved on a weekly basis. They could come to practice anytime or whatever, but they felt the excitement, they ran through the team, they walked, win or lose to the middle of the field. And now they understood, so when all that pressure was building, they were insulated because they knew my dad was coaching and why he wasn't there as much as maybe most dads.
Yeah, I would think that would expose them to the pain as well.
Well, it does, but that's part of the whole institution thing that you have. It's not, we never did it as a job, as a lifestyle. You know, that we all chose to do as a family. Now, when we chose not to do it, we chose that together as well.
How do you handle the pressure, the winter walk? Great year, Coach Ezell, 2 bad ones, and, you know, that's the reality of leading and coaching. Let's run some tips.
I think the reality is, I was told this as a very young coach, there's 2 kinds of coaches, coaches that have been fired and coaches that are gonna get fired. And you can't take either one personally, because it's not necessarily a reflection of you, it's a reflection of what that institution needs and what they want and what they feel may be something you can't give them. That's okay. I try to stick with a quote that John Wooden once said, is that you can't listen to the critic nor the fan. Neither one knows what's going on. And I guess I kind of have this, it's kind of silly when I say it, that when I take a look at fish in tanks now, I kind of know how they feel. I really do, because we all live in a fishbowl. Everything we do, everything we say, everywhere we go, somebody has tweeted about it, taken a picture of it. You know, my first week in Johnson City, someone took a picture of me buying shampoo at Target. I'm not important, I promise. But my mother calls me and she says, "Are you in Target?" And I said, "Oh my God, where are you?" She said, "Well, I'm in Nashville." I said, "This isn't good. This isn't good." I said, "Am I buying anything embarrassing?" She goes, "No, but you may want to take that Yankee cap off." I said, "Okay." Okay, but I think you just have to kind of take it with a grain of salt. You live in a fishbowl. And my feeling now, and it's silly, but it kind of gives me a sense of calm. When I watch those fish, they don't hear the noise. And they're looking out at the people that are looking in going, why are you knocking on the glass? What's it to you? I'm just trying to live right here. This is my job. This is what I do. So it's, this is my job. This is not who I am. This is my job. And people lose jobs all the time. And that's okay. There's plenty of them out there.
Coach, you retired, you're now an ambassador for the university, you went out a great way. But did you ever have that moment where it was winter walk, and how did you handle it? What would you say?
Oh, no, I did, and to be honest with you, I was fired. And I was given a choice, going 14 years, never had a losing season. And so I was given a choice, that in light of, we want to go a different direction, but in light of what you've done, we'd be glad to announce it as a retirement. And I said, no. I said, you know what, the one thing I'm not going to, anybody knows me, nobody can come here and quit it. And I'm not going to go the rest of my life lying about what happened. And so I said, if you want to fire me, you can fire me. But I'm dang sure not going to go through my life lying about it. And I'm glad I did that today. I still, and deals like this, just like you said, the ones that, I joined the company of Tom Landry and Jimmy Johnson and Lloyd Carr and Phil Fulmer and a whole bunch of guys like that. So if you take the collective record of all of us, it's probably better than the current coaches that are coaching. But anyway, I think it has to do, I knew that moment was all, in my whole career, I always knew that was a possibility. Because if you're in coaching, you accept that. And we see other professions, the general's here today, he accepted the fact when he joined the U.S. Army Special Forces that bad things could happen. And he knew it, his men knew it. And not to compare coaching to that, because it's a whole different level, but the mindset of saying, I'm going into a profession that's highly volatile, but at the same time, highly rewarding. And it's a strange thing about coaching. Some of those really disappointing losses, it's not all loss. I mean, you go in there the next day, you got guys that you're in the trenches with, and you care about, they care. Then those kids come in, and you collectively work through getting up off the floor. So, okay, guys, we've had a bad deal dealt with us, and we got to work our way out of it. As a coach, if you were coaching for the reason I was coaching, I tell you, we're dealing with something that's going to be this way the rest of your life. And I'd say each of you, all of you, everyone in this room have some bad things that are going to happen at some point ahead of you. I don't know what they are. They'll be different forms. But learning how to deal with those things. I'd have choir practice. And I'd say,
You have what?
a choir practice with the team. I'd have them in a room. I'd say, okay, all of you, after me, repeat after me. It's not the bad things in life that happen to you that are important, but it's how you react to those things. Many of life's things just come out of left field. You know, if you can see it coming, try to be proactive and prevent it. But some of those things just show up. So once they've happened, so I can't do anything about that. I have total choice on my reaction. So the day that I was fired, I said, I'm going to meet with my team before you announce this. And so I went in there and I said, I told you guys and all the guys before you, our little choir practice about it's not the bad things in life that happen to you, but how you react to them. And so now I get a chance to say, was that all a bunch of bull? Was that coach talk? Or is it really true? And I will make a pledge to you guys in this room that I'm going to walk out here, hold my head up, and walk with pride, and go on and enjoy my life and appreciate the good things that have come to me in my life. And I pledge to you I'll do that. And I've done it. And so the pressure, I'm thinking, oh God, how do you deal with all that? You know, I never even think about it. I get up so excited in the morning to go to work and go be with those kids and coach football there. I'm not saying, oh God, I got pressure. I never felt it. I was doing what I wanted to do. And I think one of the things that all day long everybody's talking about the culture. Now that's the important part, I think, as a leader, of saying, I want to get it like I want it. It doesn't mean that all the plays are right, you win every game, but the culture, I'm doing what I want to do. I've got men working with me that I believe in. I believe in these players, and I'm working to get it right. So I can deal with whatever comes. But having it come, if you don't have it right, you're the leader, it's your fault for not having it the way you want it. So I can live with it. We got it out. Phillip, one of the things too that I can say to him, I throughout knowing in profession, we did it the right way. I was not teaching a bunch of kids how to cheat. And I can look them in the eyes, trying to make them better men and better citizens. And so now the rewards of having done it like I want to do it, I can live with the results of it and actually be proud of it.
Let me add to that too, because I think it's a little bit of an advertisement, but it's really not. It's a guy that's been there and done it, and I'm watching ETSU. The way this community's adapted and adopted what the ideas here are, what Dr. Nolan has done, Dr. Sanders has done, and hired Carl, these kinds of coaches. I mean, it's got the same kind of opportunity. Maybe not on the Division I grand television every weekend scale. This community has a chance to impact a lot of young people and this community in a real way, and you're doing it. I mean, I've seen it in the last couple of years that I've had a chance to be involved and heard it in the energy and enthusiasm of the people and how many speaking engagements Carl has done and Brittney's done and all the things. It's really special what's going on right here under your nose, and so get involved if you're not. It's been really fun to see, fun to be a little bit of a part of it.
And so I think a great question, last question for me, and then I want to open the floor up for you to ask a question if you have one. This audience obviously has a bit of a buy-in when it comes to what's happening at this university and this program and programs. But as coaches currently, as coaches for many years, you could walk out into the parking lot with a microphone and just address the people of this region and tell them what this program needs, these coaches need, these players need, to really do it right. Okay, they need money, sure, okay, we know that. But what would you, if you could just speak frankly with a community of people who, as people who've been in programs that worked, just say, listen, here's the deal. This has got to happen for us. What would you say?
I say just the support thing of saying that, you know, we're not fair weather fans. You know, we're committed. We're committed. We think this is important. It's going to be good for all of us. It's going to be good for the community. It's going to be good for the university. And we're there. You know, and here's one that used to bug me. People would look at the schedule. And so they goes, well, Coach, I'm not going to be there next week. You know, y'all playing Louisiana Tech or, you know. I said, well, who are you coming to watch? You coming to watch your team or you coming to watch the other team? I said, you're up here for me. And I'd go around speaking to alumni group. I said, if it were me, I'd say, you know, I'm going to load the kids in the car. And I'm going to go out there on game day and I'm going to see my classmates and I'm going to watch our team play and we're going to buy some popcorn and have fun and we're going to be there. You can count on it. They decide who's going to come in and play. I want to watch our team play. And I'll watch against whoever it is they're playing and enjoy the experience of being there supporting my school.
No matter what.
No matter what. I'm committed. I'm not like in and out or whatever. I'm committed. I'm a fan. I support this school. I'll be there. Coach, I'll be there. You count on me. I'll be there. And I know there'll be bumps in the road because I made a quote one time. They still use it against me sometimes. And I'd say it again. I'm saying it publicly right now. We played a big game in Colorado, 2 top 5 teams. And it was a close game, and I was really disappointed at how we played. It was a heck of a game. We lost by 5 points or something. So when I came to the locker room, I came out of the locker room, post-game press conference, the first question was a guy from Texas, RC, were you shocked today to lose the game? I said, shocked? No. I was really disappointed. I wasn't shocked. I said, you ever watch college football on the weekend? Roughly half the teams lose. So don't be shocked if your team might lose the game. That's reality. Read the paper.
The hard reality of that wins oftentimes go to rumps and seats.
Right.
And rumps and seats equals a successful program. But I want to stay on that theme. What do you say to these people as somebody who's part of the rebuild and the rebrand and all that's happening at ETSU?
I think what you say is this is your university. This is your region. This is where you live. This is where you raise your family. This is where you work and make your living. And athletics is the door into a university that has so many incredible things going on that will help this region. The art center that we're bringing in is going to bring money into the region. I mean, just think about the impact that has. Think about the impact that Carl's football team is going to have on the region in terms of tourists, butts in hotels. Where's Crystal? I know the Carnegie's going to be happy about that. Restaurants, all the things that athletics impacts. We're not in an ivory tower just sitting over there hoarding money and just, it's all about us. It's about East Tennessee State University and being the flagship university of this region. And that's what's important. We are the front porch. And Mayor Bryant, I think he said it best. He said, people ask him what's the role of athletics at a university, and he said, I think it's very important because nobody ever pays $5 to watch a kid do a math problem. He did. No one pays $5 to watch a kid do a math problem, but the $5 that we generate may educate a kid that does a math problem that helps cure cancer somewhere down the road. And that's what we do. It's about the entire university. It's about the entire region. It's not just about my team or Carl's team or Lindsay's team. It's about the region. It's about the university. It's about impacting lives through a game.
Do we get that here?
I think we get that here.
Are we getting it? Are we starting to get it?
I think we're slowly but surely getting it. I think under the leadership of Dr. Nolan and Dr. Sander and revealing the processes that go into it, absolutely. I think a lot of times college environments, we're so result-oriented that all we want to see is the wins and losses, but there is so much more that goes into it. And the processes have to be patient with the process sometimes. It's a hurry up and wait, but it's coming. And I think if you've been in this region for the last couple of years, you see it. It's coming day by day. all the good things that are going on in industry and real estate at the university. There are so many good things right now in this region. We're just really proud to be the front porch of that here in the athletic department.
Coach, you've been leading the fight all over the rest of the team you've helped to put together, but what, is there something that people need to hear?
Yeah, it's about scholarships, it's about cultural experience that the regular student body's gonna have an opportunity to be a part of, the football part of it. It's about retention. I mean, if they're not going home every weekend to where, or going someplace else to a game, if they're staying here, their retention rate is going to be better. But it's not about football, it's not about 100 football scholarships, it's about band scholarships, it's about cheerleading scholarships, it's about trainers and managers and support staff jobs. Dr. Nolan and Dr. Sanders have done a great job of giving them a little bit of a foundation, but this community getting behind this program, they're in a place they've never been before. Actually, I've heard the bad experiences about not having a homecoming to come home to, this 12-year hiatus of football, that all these guys are out in the community. Now they have homecoming and experience to come home to. It's a lot bigger than just playing, football. It's a cultural opportunity for this area to have. And it doesn't mean, and this is no offense to anything, you have to choose between UT and ETSU or Virginia Tech and ETSU. You can do both, and UT's out of town playing somewhere, be sure that you support the Bucks. We're trying to work the schedule where that conflict is not going to happen, that they won't be playing at the same time on the same day. And all those are conscious efforts to make this a really good opportunity. I personally don't think that there's never ever been this much energy around the program. And that's a great compliment, not just athletics, I'm talking about the university as a whole. Even the Mountain States, Wellmark, and all that's going on with the pharmacy school, med school, and everything. It's just a wonderful time for this university.
I'm curious if you have any questions. Anything on your mind that you'd like to ask? I will tell you this, there's a really good likelihood this panel won't make its way into your daily life for quite a while. So you have an opportunity here to ask some questions. Anyone want to know what Coach Fulmer thinks about the old lady balls thing?
Oh, thank you. That would be tweeted in about 10 seconds.
I was getting my phone out. There's your music.
I promised RC, because he's got a flight, that he was nice enough to come and spend his time with us and everything, that he would get back to his family. So if there is a question, let's make it quick. Long day.
That said, I know I have just been so enjoying the last hour, and I want to say thank you to our panelists. What a privilege to hear you all speak.